Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
This is Barbara Berrigan-Perea with Delta Flows, a radio show by the Voice of Stockton and Restore the Delta. This is the weekly radio show where we discuss everything Delta related: the environment, water management, water quality, farming, history and culture, public events, recreation, Delta food, and the arts. Tune into Delta Flows on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at KXVS Radio.
This is Darius Oliver, and you're listening to 92.1 KXVS, the Voice of Stockton.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Hi, this is Joy Neas with Behind the Art Scene at KXVS, the Voice of Stockton. And it's good to be back in the News Improved studio. Today my guest is artist Angela Maxson. Welcome, Angela.
Hello.
And I wanted to thank my husband, actually, for introducing me to Angela. She met my husband over at the Summer Art Splash last year, and that's how I got to know her. And I really love your work. It's over at the Elks building. How did you get involved in that?
I had a booth at Black Family Day, and some people were coming to my booth. I had a booth making, doing paintings and selling some of my art. So Brandy came up to me and asked if I would like to display some of my art there, and that's where it all happened. I went down there, took my art, and then I met your husband, and then you guys showed me everything else.
So is that the first time you just displayed your art, or?
That's the second Black Family Day that I participated in, but that last time exposed me to a lot of different people. So.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that you joined us at the Summer Art Splash. That I think was the last month of October, last October. Mm-hmm. We're going to be starting that up in May again, so maybe you can join us through for the next 6 months.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And so one of the things that you've been doing is you make books, and you have been teaching over at the Right Place.
Yes, I work at the Right Place with Paula, and we make junk journals there. And so I maybe like twice a month we'll teach other people how to make the junk journals. That's pretty cool.
So, because I was wondering what a junk journal is. Can you explain what a junk journal is?
So a junk journal is just a journal that you make out of different kinds of paper. So you can, and any other thing you want, you can make it yours. So it doesn't have to be all lined paper, but you can use envelopes. You can make your own tags. You can use paper that you've made, like at the Right Place. They make their own paper there. And you just bind it all and put it in a book. Well, you pick the cover and design it the way you want it.
So it's your own personalized journal.
Yes.
And you brought one today?
Yeah, I brought one that I made. I made this one out of a file folder and a hairband, some yarn, and a comic book. A couple different things in there. So.
And you said that you were getting ready to throw a bunch of this stuff away, and then you thought you could make it into a journal.
Yeah. So my son was cleaning his room, and he was going to throw his comic book away, and I I had this file folder. We were going to burn everything because it was cold. And I was like, you know what? I think I can use that and make a journal out of it. Something that's interesting for boys, because everything I was making was for girls.
Uh-huh.
So this one is a Hulk smash. And I was like, oh, that will probably get boys interested in writing or something. So
what are you using the journal for now?
this one is probably going to be for sale or just for display.
Okay.
It's just fun for me to make. But
Okay.
somebody else might like it to draw in it. It has little spaces where you can tuck things in there. Or you can write whatever you want, put it in there.
So has your son made a junk journal? Or?
No, actually, he's not interested.
Teenagers.
Teenagers.
How old is he?
He's 15.
We need to get him involved there. So you have a daughter? Or?
I have a daughter. She's 10, and she helps make these. Also, I have an 8-year-old. He likes these too, but he likes to draw, but mostly not in these.
Because I watch you on Facebook, and I guess your daughter had never used a sewing machine before.
Oh yes.
So talk about that.
So in the we have a sewing machine, and I don't sew clothes, but I do sew paper, and so we take it to the right place, and we sew the journals together, like the covers and the inserts.
Oh wow.
And so I was like, why don't you? When I was teaching a class, so I was like, why don't you try it? So she knows how to sew now, and she knows how to thread the machine, something I didn't learn until maybe like 3 years ago.
I need to learn how to thread my machine again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so she knows how to do all that now.
So when you sew paper, how does that work? Because usually when you're sewing cloth, you like feed it through the machine, and you can go real fast. You have to go pretty slow, or?
No, I just go fast too.
Really?
If my machine will allow me to go fast, I'll just go fast. Around the covers, it's nothing. Just guide it.
So
like
do you have sewing on this?
On this one, I don't have the sewing in this one.
Okay.
But I also, when I do my posters, like some of my art, I like to sew on the poster board around the edge, make designs. So gives it a different texture.
I never really thought of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm gonna sew with my with paper. Wow. So, but does it need to be a pretty stiff paper, or what? What would you recommend?
Well, I just use regular, regular paper, not card. I can use cardstock also.
Okay.
But when I make the signatures for these books, we use like around 10 pages of paper. And it sews through that perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it like almost like typing paper? Or?
Like regular binder paper or copy paper. And then a couple pages of cardstock. So.
Oh, wow.
It works fine.
So that's how you would make like your center seam, or?
That's how I make the center seam of the little signature that you put in. So.
What's a signature?
A signature is like a group of different papers that you put inside the book.
Oh.
So.
I know all these technical terms. Okay, educate me.
So this is like the signature right here. So this book has 2 signatures, and those are the little forms of books or pages that you put together and slip them inside.
So it's kind of like the groups of pages.
The groups of pages, yes.
Okay. And then the outside is a separate.
The outside is separate, and it's put together with. You can make them any kind of way. These books right here. But I used this one. I used the fasteners, like the paper fasteners, and I used a hair tie and some little brads I got from the store. And then so that fastener and those ties are holding the signatures inside the book.
Okay.
Basically.
So here the fastener you had it come down so far from the top and from the bottom?
Correct.
And because are some of them like fastened all the way along?
No, it's just I just use 2 fasteners and 2 embellishment things I got from the store, and then I used one of the hair bands that you would put on your hair, so you can use anything in these, and just wrapped it around, and that's how you make your book. I don't know, so it can come out.
So I was wondering, there's Paula, what are the books I guess the methods of making books that she really
She does
advises is the Coptic.
She does Coptic binding there.
What is that?
That's a different form of putting the book together, where they stitch it around the edges. Her class is a 2-day class, so the first day you have to paint your papers, and I only took that class once.
So the painted papers, those are for I think the end papers?
Yes, they're the end papers.
So that would be
like the inside
so
on the edge.
The inside on the front and the back.
And you also do the covers of them. So there's like 2 boards that you have, and you have to decorate the top and the back of them. And then you punch your holes and stitch.
So that's more like hand sewing?
Yeah, I would say that's more hand sewing the book.
So there's a lot of sewing involved in who knew, in making books.
Yeah.
So you've also been involved in, I know there's the River open mic, and then you were saying that you were going to an event this evening?
Yeah, so tonight is the new Black Arts. They're having a new Black Arts movement, and it's downtown at the Buena Vista Social Club. And I'm going to be selling some of my art pieces that I've been doing, some of the books that I've made.
And at some of those at the River, and tonight, are you going to be doing the live painting?
I'm not the live painter tonight.
Okay.
But I have been the live painter, and it's a pretty cool experience while you're painting, while people are doing their poetry and rapping and singing. It's pretty cool.
So how many pieces, like during an evening, can you make? Just do you work on one, or you work on more than one? Or?
I can do. It depends how I'm feeling, how the flow is. So, one event I did 2 pieces, and then another one I had a bigger canvas, so I only did 1 that night. But the other time I did 2.
And I don't. Did you bring any of your other art?
Well, this is last year.
There we go. Here. There.
Oh yeah. So last year I did the Inktober, and that's when every day for like 30 days or 31 days you have to draw something in ink. Oh. And that's what I did. So I just wanted to bring that one.
Oh yeah. But it was that through Facebook or what?
I found out about it through Facebook, and the founder of that, I think his name was Jake Parker, and so they give you like a theme, and every day you have to draw something like related to that theme. Oh. Or else you can pick your own.
And so where do you display it? Usually on
Facebook, one of
social
the groups.
Media. Mm-hmm. So what was the theme?
Well, I did 2 different people's Inktober, and one of them was since it's done in October, a lot of it's kind of like Halloween stuff, and I did a lot of creepy things with ink and bones and unpretty things. That's what I. So that was my thing. I just mostly use Sharpies. I like Sharpies, and then when I started this, I got introduced to the spray, the ink dyes, spray. So that's what a lot of this is in here.
Yeah, that's very colorful. Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And I just learned if you put it on like a not copy paper, but photo paper, the ink takes different. Oh, yeah. So I really like that idea.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
compared to it being on regular paper.
Yeah. So it gives that glossy look.
Yeah. And it sinks in and like to the bottom of the page some weird way.
Wow. Wow. So most of your art, it's usually these kind of figures, or?
Yeah, mostly I like to draw people. I like drawing faces. Mostly women. I don't know why. I think it's easier to draw women than it is for men. Mm-hmm. That's something I'm working on, drawing more men, because my sons were saying, you always draw girls, you never draw any boys. So that's what I'm trying to get into. I don't know. I'm a girl. That's what I do.
There you go. So you were telling me how you got started in art.
Well, when I was little, my grandma raised me, and whenever she'd read her mail, she'll have the junk mail, and on the back, she'll give me the page. It's blank. Here, go draw on that. And I'm like, okay. So I'll go, practice drawing stuff, and a couple days later, you find that paper in the trash.
Oh no! Oh no!
Grandma, how'd this get there? But my mom and my dad, they're really good artists. My mom, she passed, but my dad, he still draws little sketches or whatever. And I guess it's in my blood.
You were saying that your mom, she could have been a sketch artist for the courts.
Yes, when she was younger, they wanted her to do that, but my grandma said that she really didn't want her to go into that field. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's quite a specialized field. But, so what would you like to in the future? Do you want to like illustrate books, or what would you like to get into?
Well, I just designed a cover for a poet. She has a book that she's putting out, so she wanted me to design her cover. I did that, and maybe.
Who is that?
Her name is Labria Spivey.
Is she in Stockton?
Yes. Okay. And then I met her she contacted me on Facebook and told me she's seen my art and she heard about me. She wanted me to design a cover. I said, okay.
Wow.
But later on, maybe I want to probably do my own cartoon.
Yeah.
That's something I would like to get into.
Because this to me, it's kind of that cartoon style, mm-hmm. very very distinctive. Do you know Stephen Bentley?
I do not.
Okay, so he lives in Stockton. He's the deacon over at St. John's Church, right on El Dorado and Minor, the church right there,
okay.
Right by the theater. But he has his own comic strip syndicated. It's Herb and Jamal, Herb and I think Jamaal.
Okay.
But it's almost like he's made himself into a little cartoon. It's the cutest thing in the world. And I should have worn that, but he made a shirt all about Stockton, kind of a cartoon look of all the places in Stockton. Okay. And so that's for sale. And when I was learning how to do chalk drawing, he was out there at some of the chalk festivals, and he would do some chalk drawings. And so I should introduce you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could talk comic strips.
Yeah. For my senior project in high school, I chose to, when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and my project was to make a comic book, and I did that about teenagers and drugs.
Oh,
I don't know how you can make a comic.
Sure.
But I did, and unfortunately, it got lost in the shuffle when we were moving. So if anybody finds that book.
Oh, yeah, we need to find it.
Yeah.
Well, I just was over across the street at the Goodwin Gallery. Now they're starting up a new thing. On Tuesdays, they've always had a afternoon group where you can go and join an art, a bunch of artists kind of working on art together.
Okay.
And so now they're doing that in the morning, on Tuesday morning, and there was a whole group over there, like eight people doing art, and everybody had a different style. Like one lady, she had her rulers out. She was making it looked like a Victorian house, and she was measuring everything, and it was really detailed. And then someone else was doing a mandala, and so someone was doing a landscape, someone was drawing their cat. They had all different kind of people, and on the table there was all these works, and I said, I know that artist. Oh my God, it's Ed Friedman. Oh my God. So I think the Stockton Art League, a lot of times when artists die, they inherit all the works from that artist and are able to sell them. And I didn't know that they had all these pieces from him. So, you never know where you can find something you thought might be lost or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to get some Ed Friedman, Frank. I need some money, but you should go over after this and look at the work. It's really beautiful. He did a lot of origami, but he folded boxes. And then he decorated them kind of with mandala themes, and he made earrings. He made a lot of things using folded paper and intricate patterns, and so it's really fascinating. But when you were growing up, you said you didn't really have that much training in art, or?
No, I never. I did take a class at Delta, but it was for art history, and I didn't pass it. I thought I was going to be learning skills on drawing. I don't know why I did art history. So I'm not good at that. And then in high school, we had like an introductory course to certain things, and I took art for like a week, and that's it. But now I work, and all the art classes that they have at Delta are in the morning. And like I said, I work Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, so I don't have time to go to those. So I just do my own thing, watch YouTube, join a couple art groups on Facebook, and pick up different styles, or get different ideas. But it seems like I always come back to the way I draw. So
yeah, since you do enjoy drawing people, the art expressions of Sam Joaquin, have you been with them at all, or?
I did go there once, and it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And I came in at the butt end of it, and it was pretty cool. So
you went for their Wednesday night drawing? Yeah, I just did that myself. So they're going to continue that. They're not going to have their gallery on the Miracle Mile anymore, but they are going to be using the art lab just right on the corner here. So they're going to continue, I think, having Wednesday night drawing groups there. But so you can find out about that on Facebook, just what day that's going to be on. But it's a good way to be with a lot of different artists, see their styles, get inspiration from other people
and ideas. It was pretty neat. I walked in, I guess they had been there for like an hour or so, and then they were drawing I can't think of his name, but they had someone up there, and so somebody had watercolored him, and somebody was doing charcoal. I never used charcoal, but I did that night. I just walked in. I didn't even have paper or pencil.
Me too. I asked if I could borrow this stuff. So Bob Austin, he let me use his stuff.
Yeah.
So what you when you draw, what medium do you usually use?
I normally use a pencil and Sharpie. Sharpie's my favorite. I don't know why. And then I just started painting maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. I never thought I could paint until I ran into somebody at the flea market, and he was like, "Oh no, don't give up. You should just sketch it out and then go from there. Start your sketch and then throw some colors on." And I was like, "Oh," because I thought you just have to just paint, just paint. But he was like, "No, you should start off with sketching it out first, what you want."
Sure.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's really what I started sketching things out, and then just working with color pencils, the watercolor pencils, blending it in with water. Now my favorite thing to use is acrylic paints. Kind of like acrylic and watercolor are neck and neck to me. So
yeah. So I tried oil one time. Oh my goodness!
I never tried oil yet. So
you gotta mix it with all the mediums and it's too much chemicals, and I like the water. And then I haven't tried it yet, but I've seen people use. They have a paintbrush that like if you're going out, they call it plein air. So you go out just outside, and you're gonna paint something or draw something. So they take this paintbrush, but the handle you can fill with water. So you don't have to be like carrying water and all this. So you'd have your little paint set, and then the certain brush that you could fill the handle with water. And then when you get out there, you can take your junk journal and paint some watercolors in there.
Oh, okay.
So I got a book about that. There's a lady that she recommended to, like, all these certain exercises. You can like go out and do these plein air paintings of nature. So first you go and you look at the scene and you draw for about 5 minutes, and then you then you walk for like 5 minutes, and then you draw some more, and you do it like about 3 or 4 times. And the more that you're out there, you get kind of more in tune with everything.
Oh, okay.
And so she had all these certain exercises, but so I've been trying that.
That's good. My next one is I want to do nature too, because I used to draw trees and everything, but now I'm more into people. So I need to really try to like you said, go out into a certain area and just check it out and see if I can draw it.
Yeah.
Or paint it.
Yeah, because actually what I did, we took a trip. I always seem to get more inspired when I'm like going to some other city I'm going to draw or do some art. But so I took my little sketchbook and we were right next to a bridge, and it had this beautiful view of the water and the mountains, and so I went out and did a little sketching. But after you sketch it, then you can take that and do kind of a pen and ink like on top of it. So right now it's in just regular pencil, but I could like make that into like an ink piece, and then I could add the color with the watercolor. So you can do it in little steps. And
Okay. A multimedia.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So you like build your piece. And a lot of people they like to look at a photograph and I'm gonna that you look at the photograph and then you try to paint what's there. Mm-hmm. We just went. I can't remember. Oh my goodness. They have it's a Japanese film. It was so enchanting. We went down to Manteca, and they probably do have about 6 of these a year. I can't remember the name of it, but it was Mary and the Witch or whatever. Mm-hmm. But after the film, we thought, you get up and you leave the theater. All of a sudden, they're having an interview with the director of the film. Mm-hmm. All these people that helped make the animated film, mm-hmm. and they're explaining all about the film and the process and everything. So that it was just really amazing. And one of the guys said, that a lot of people would just go out and use that photo and digitize it or whatever and make the thing. But what they like to do is they like to go out on location mm-hmm. into the place. They part of this was in England, mm-hmm. so they went over to England to the village and everything, and actually felt what it was, the setting and the scene and how it made it's more like real, that you're in touch with that landscape. I'm thinking, I can just I'll do everything with the photograph, but if you can try to go ahead and be out in that setting mm-hmm. and make it come alive, and how you want to see it be, and
right, your spin on it,
your interpretation.
There you go.
So
that's cool.
So do you have anything else you?
Oh, at the right place also we make we did some leather journals.
Oh, uh-huh.
And that's the one I mostly work out of, so I don't really work out of my junk journals that much. Uh-huh. But the leather journals are
there we go.
They're also cool. So
look at that.
Like I said, I always work with people. Uh-huh. And everybody else in the class did like the sky, and my daughter, she went and she did her little design, but I don't know how I ended up with a person.
Yeah.
And I just add these different things on there, beads and keys. Uh-huh. But this is the book that I mostly use, that I work out of, and I do my journaling in there, and I do all kinds of my little drawing sketches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is the picture that I did
that's beautiful.
Across the street that Wednesday.
At Art Expressions.
Yeah, at Art Expressions. Yeah. So I did one big poster, and then the next one I just did it in my book. And they're like, you're doing it on a little piece.
Yeah.
I said, this is all I have. So
that's wonderful.
Thank you. So that's basically, I just went and saw Black Panther, and
we saw it too.
It was a pretty cool movie.
That was wonderful.
So now I'm all into warriors. So now
there we go.
I want everything to be warrior now. See, so I just do all kinds of just sketches, and I do these while the kids are in karate, or I'm on a break at work or something. So good thing I have my book here, and I just work in it. So,
and there's a lot of patterns in here. You made all these?
No, we at the right place they had all of these pattern papers.
Oh, okay.
So we just made these different signatures too, and put them together, and bound the book up, slid it in here. It's almost the same way you make a junk journal. Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's pretty neat.
Well, that's wonderful.
And I just love the way it smells, the leather.
So that's with the Janelle Imuton. Mm-hmm. She graduated from UOP. She is a phenomenal artist.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some of her work.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And then when the poetry tonight is with the Vibe. Uh-huh. They're the one who was putting on the show tonight at the Buena Vista Club. Mm-hmm. And at some of their events that they had, like at the mall or whatever, they would call and ask if I wanted to be an artist for the night or so. So sometimes I do caricatures. I try my best. So that's some of the art stuff that I do out there too.
So where is the Buena Vista Social? I've never been to that.
It is on Weber. I think it's 445 West Weber Avenue.
So that it's in the waterfront warehouse, but like when you go inside, where do you go?
It's on the second floor, across from the elevators.
Is it on like the west end or the east end?
240, room 240, I think.
240. Yeah. So you guys should check it out. What time is that?
It's from 6 to 9 o'clock tonight. Yeah.
And they seem to be having this like every few weeks, or
yeah. It's, they have been having things like a couple weeks at a time. I think their last one was 2 weeks ago, I believe, and then there's another one tomorrow, but it's not with them. It's with the river.
Yes, the river.
Yeah, tomorrow's the river, and they let you display your art too. So I like both. They help you get your art out there, and they help other artists. You know, they display your art, and so people can see who you are and what you do.
So the river is over at Tosco, telling our authentic stories theater company. It's right on the corner of Fremont and California. Yeah. I think it's 443 North California, but it's in the old Cazale's flower shop building. So like half the building is a flower shop and the other half is the theater. And that's at 7 o'clock?
Yes, it's at 7 o'clock, and it's $5 entry.
And I was there the very first time they did it, and we had a pretty small group, but now it's grown to...
Oh, yeah. Standing room only.
Are they doing it outside, or having it...
I think it's inside tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I didn't go to the outside one the last time.
Okay.
But tomorrow it's also my daughter's birthday, so I'll see if she wants to go, or
maybe she wants to go. She can.
She said she's going to get up there and do a song one time.
Oh, wow.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right. So, and then on Thursday at Tosco, what they're doing kind of back-to-back. On Wednesdays, the last Wednesday of the month, so is the river. And then the day after, on Thursday, they're having storytelling. So I'm going to be out there telling some stories.
All right.
And they said, I got to keep it to under 8 minutes. So,
oh, okay. So make it short.
So I'll try to do my best to do that. Well, I'd like to thank you for being my guest today, and
thanks for inviting me.
Showing all your wonderful work and your style. And I think this would make a wonderful comic, and I'd read it. I'd like to get that one. So
cool.
Thanks for coming, and
thank you.
I'll see you next time on Behind the Art Scene with KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
All right.